How do you feel that people think school teaches how to memorize from a textbook other than establishing a connection between it and the real world?
You shouldn't be memorising from a textbook. I'm sorry, but if you're memorising from a textbook, you're not learning. You need to be able to, you need to process the information. Yes, textbooks are useful. They are a resource, but one of the things I've been fighting against almost ever since I came to Jordan is the idea that you start at page 1 in the textbook and you keep going until you get to the end of it, and that's the course covered. There is so much more to education than that. Memorising is not learning. Learning is a change in long-term memory. Long-term memory. When you memorise something, you're not necessarily putting it into your long-term memory, you're putting it into your short-term memory. And that's a whole different ballgame. That's a 2-hour conversation before we've even started. So I would very strongly object to people who consider that learning is about memorising the textbook. This is one of the things that has changed from when your parents were at school to what we know now. In order to properly assimilate that information, you need to process it. And processing it is not reading it. As you well know, if I sit here, okay, I've got a piece of paper here, I sit there and I highlight it. That's doing absolutely nothing apart from making me feel good. Oh, I've done something, I've highlighted it. I've done nothing with that information. The very least I can do is rewrite it. Read it and rewrite it. By the very fact of actually changing it from a typed word on a page to a written word that I have physically handwritten, I've processed that information. I've started the process of developing the connections between the long-term memory and the short-term memory, building those schemes which will allow me to recall that information when I need to, i.e. in an exam, or in a job, in work. So please do not think that memorising the textbook is learning, because it's not. It's memorising the textbook. I can quote to you the first 4 lines of the soliloquy from Hamlet, so what? It doesn't actually add anything to anybody. You could probably quote to me a line from a textbook somewhere. Do you actually understand what it means?
Probably not.
Probably not. And the thing is that what you have to remember is that you're going into a world we've got absolutely no idea what it looks like. In fact, the way things are going, I think we might be lucky if we have actually got a world in 20 years' time. I mean, by the time you guys get to my age, I think you've got a 50-50 chance of there not being a world in the first place. But we've got no idea what it is, so you have to be adaptable. What worked when I left school, umpteen million years ago, doesn't work anymore. Because everybody understands that you won't have a career as such. It's very unlikely that you will go into a career at the age of 25, let's say, when you leave university, and still be in the same career at the age of 65 when you retire. It's almost certain you will have had at least 2 others in between. That means that you can't prepare for that career now. All you can do is prepare yourself for the career change when it comes. And that's a big difference. Even going, you might say, oh, well, I'm going to become a doctor. Yeah, but look at the change in the medical profession